All right, let's get right into it. If you've got a final exam coming up on entrepreneurship, this is going to be your ultimate study guide. We're going to break down exactly what separates a cool idea from a business that actually succeeds. So let's dive in and unpack the entrepreneurial toolkit.
First up, I want you to do something for me. Just for a second, get a picture in your head. What does a multimillionaire founder actually look like? What's their background? How old are they? You got someone in mind? Good. Hang on to that image.
Okay, now what if I told you that the entrepreneur we're talking about has done all this? We're talking fashion correspondent for the NBA draft, met the president, was named influential by Time magazine, has a net worth over $2 million, a huge partnership with the NBA, and even founded their own charity summer camp. Pretty wild, right? Does that mess with the picture you had in your head? Well, get this. The person who did all that is Mosiah Bridges, the founder of Mo's Bows. And he started his company when he was just 9 years old. 9. So here's the first big takeaway for your exam. An entrepreneur can look like anybody. Any age, any background. That whole idea that there's one type of founder, total myth. So if it's not about age or where you come from, what is it that people like Mosiah have in common? What's the secret sauce? Well, we're going to decode what we'll call their entrepreneurial DNA. And to make it easy to remember, we're breaking it down into 3 key pillars. Let's kick things off with pillar number 1, the dreamer's mindset. This is all about how entrepreneurs see the world. It's the starting point, the foundation for everything else that follows. First up inside that mindset is vision. And listen, this is way more than just having an idea. It's about being able to see the destination long before you've even started the journey. An entrepreneur has this crystal clear, long-term picture of what they're building and why it's going to matter.
Next, you need the fuel for that journey. And that, my friends, is passion. Think of it like the engine in the car. It's that fire in your belly conviction that keeps you pushing forward when things get really, really hard. And trust me, they always get hard.
And the last piece of the dreamer's mindset is innovation. This is all about being a professional problem spotter. Innovators are constantly looking at the world around them and thinking, you know what, this could be so much better. They're either improving on something that already exists, or sometimes they invent a whole new way of doing things. And this quote right here, it just nails the difference. Inventing a more comfortable saddle for a horse and buggy, yeah, that's innovative. It's a great improvement. But replacing the horse entirely with a car? Now that is disruptive. It changes everything. And that's where the real magic often happens.
All right, let's move on. We've got the mindset. Now we need pillar number 2, the doer's drive. Because look, it's not enough to just dream about it. You've got to be able to actually do it. This pillar is all about action and pure grit.
At the very heart of the doer's drive is an insane work ethic. Simple as that. It's that deep down belief that you got to roll up your sleeves and just get the work done. No shortcuts. Big dreams demand even bigger effort. And right alongside that work ethic, you have to have persistence. I'm telling you, every single entrepreneur hits a wall. They face rejection, they fail. Persistence is that gritty, stubborn quality that lets you get knocked down 10 times and stand up 11, ready to go again. It's what separates the people who start from the people who actually finish. And finally, to make all that hard work count, you need focus. Honestly, in the world we live in today, being able to lock in on a single goal and tune out all the noise, it's a legitimate superpower. It's about knowing exactly what to do and, maybe even more importantly, what not to do. So we have the mindset to dream it and the drive to do it. Let's get to our final pillar, pillar number 3, the juggler's toolkit. This is all about the practical, get your hands dirty traits that founders use to manage the, let's call it, controlled chaos of building a company from scratch. A huge tool in this kit is bootstrapping. This is basically the art of being scrappy and super resourceful, especially with money. It means you're not starting with a huge check from investors. You're building the company with your own savings and whatever cash comes in from your first sales. It forces you to be creative. Now, you always hear that entrepreneurs are risk takers, and they are. But here's the secret. Successful ones take calculated risks. They're not just closing their eyes and hoping for the best. They're like professional poker players. They weigh the odds, they understand the potential downside, and they make smart, informed bets. And because in the early days, the founder is also the head of marketing, the head of sales, and sometimes the person taking out the trash, they have to be a master multitasker.
It's about juggling a dozen different jobs at once, people, money, time, all of it. It takes some serious organizational chops.
Okay, pause. This is a super important point, especially for an exam. Everything we've covered so far, passion, persistence, focus, those are traits. Think of them as part of your personality, who you are. But to actually make them work, you have to build skills. Skills are what you can do. It's a huge difference. Traits are who you are, skills are what you can do.
And these are the big ones you gotta build. You need financial skills so you don't run out of money. Leadership skills to get a team to believe in your vision. Communication skills to sell it. Plus all the practical stuff, like solving problems, understanding the tech, and just making sure the business actually, runs. You're not born with these, you'll learn them.
So, if you put it all together, this is the path. It starts with your natural traits. Then, you layer on the hard-earned skills through practice and learning. And that combination allows you to actually execute the day-to-day responsibilities of being a founder. See how it all connects? Traits to skills to responsibilities. But, and this is so important to remember, there isn't no magic formula here. There isn't a one-size-fits-all checklist of traits that guarantees you're going to be successful. Some of the best founders are quiet and analytical. Others are loud and charismatic. The real key is knowing your own strengths and weaknesses and building from there. Which brings us to the last big question for you to think about. When you look at these three pillars, the dreamer's mindset, the doer's drive, and the juggler's toolkit, which of those traits really stands out for you? What's your entrepreneurial superpower? Is it your crazy vision? Your unstoppable persistence? Figure that out, and that's the perfect place to start your own journey.